This conference will now be recorded.
This is the Friday, week 3 critique identity packages, and we're going to start with Elena, I guess. I think you're in
Yes.
this section.
Mm-hmm. I have uploaded the PDF.
Yes.
Oh, not this. Hold on. Oh, it would be closer to the bottom then.
You like supplemented your earlier post?
Yes, it's in my replies.
Right. Oops, no.
It just, you gotta scroll a little bit down. Yeah, right here.
All right. I do like your logo.
So these are the color
Yes.
options that I've made.
Very nice. What do you think? I like that rich green. That looks good.
Yeah, I like the two of the bottom ones. I want it to be it's almost the same, just one of them has the white outline on the purple
Right.
parts and the other one doesn't.
Oh, I think that works really well.
Can I combine it with this one with the outline? So for example, leave the outline here in gold and
Full
put
color
the
here.
color one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're actually creating a pretty sophisticated system, but that's great.
Thanks.
I do like what you did here. This color version, it's very
Hmm.
rich, and your assigned color, you're making it work. Because it really it's tough to work with.
It is.
I acknowledge that. Yeah.
So
Great
do you
job.
think thank you. Do you think I should leave the purple leaves with white outline or without it? Because if I leave it with the outline, it kind of gonna cut it off a little bit on the white background. So this one is without the outline.
Um, I it's because you have a white stroke on this border, it seems like it fits with it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems okay. It doesn't bother me.
Can I have two versions of this, or that would be too many versions of one logo?
Yeah, for this class, yeah. You kind of gone above and beyond. So, um, yeah, you could try it out and see. But I think this is working. I mean, you don't have to go beyond this if you don't want to.
Okay, thanks.
Nice. All right, Raymond, I'm going to you next. Let's see. No, you're here.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I just have to upload it.
Oh, okay. So I'll go on to Rob. So you're also here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you add something new?
Oh yeah.
All right, this is what I looked at before, right?
No, that's new. It's still new. It's
Oh, that's
yeah. Mm,
okay.
Just scroll. Yeah.
Yeah, that works. All right, this is a little bit overkill, but maybe if you put the filled colors on top
Mm-hmm.
of this, so that you have the burned edges, it might
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Uh, it's in the spoon. All
Is it
right,
too
I like it.
much? I mean, I'm trying different things, so I didn't know. Um.
I like them falling down here. I mean, this gives me ideas like what the website would be like, with them
Yeah.
crawling around and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's okay. It's a good experiment. Uh,
Yeah.
I like the color border better.
It's yeah.
What do you think? I think it's coming together.
I do like it. Yeah. I knew that at first. Actually, I had that tan brown color throughout the whole.
Yeah,
Um.
right,
Concept, and it was just too much. It was way too much. There needed to be a little bit of separation.
right.
So that's why I made the cards white and the letterhead white. Now the letterhead does have an image in the background. It's kind of faded really back.
Yeah,
If
I
you
can
look at
kind of see it.
it's like but I mean, I don't know. I just was like I said, I was just trying different things, seeing what would work, and I did add a little bit more color to the logo, but you know, the more color I added, the more it got too crazy. You know, I took your advice and did some things with the legs and the stuff, but then it just became too much red in it, and it didn't really pop
No, I
as
think
much.
you ended up in a good spot.
Okay. All right, so just to add the yeah, add the logo to the burn marks you said.
Yeah, if you sort of
Okay.
stick that on top of it, it might
Okay.
actually look cool. All right, good
All right.
job.
Well, thank you.
Uh, Back to Raymond. Did you get it in there, Raymond?
Sorry, I was having trouble with my InDesign template, like converting it there. So I'm just gonna give you some screenshots.
Okay, so you know how to export a PDF from InDesign, right?
Yeah, it's just I something went wrong when I edit the original file, and then when I exported it as a PDF, it just wasn't there.
Uh, I'm going to
Oh,
make you the presenter. You can show me. You want to show me what you got, so you don't have to
Um, I guess yeah.
just realize you're showing the whole class. So,
Got you.
all right, there it is.
1 second, let me just get to here. Yeah. So I made a new one.
You change your logo. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's okay.
and then you said
Uh,
to add the like the wild card color.
yes, I think that works. So you worked on your logo. Did you do the identity package using this logo?
Yeah, just let me show you what I got so far because mine kind of messed up. So yeah, this is what I had on short notice because I didn't understand how to do the thing. I think I had to just do it from start. That way all the
Yes.
files are right.
Yes.
So this is
Okay.
what I have so far. Yeah.
So you've got a logo, like two lockups, a horizontal and a vertical, and the horizontal, which is in the top card, the logo is so tiny, the icon, it's almost, hard to tell what's going on there.
Okay.
So in that case, I would make the type maybe a little smaller. Now you can have some hierarchy in your type, like the word chunk can be really big and soap could be smaller. So you could consider that and sort of figure out how you get that horizontal configuration so you can see the icon, because your icon's pretty good. Go back up.
To the logo.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was just looking. Your color palette's good. This is better. This is an improvement. So um, keep going with that. Now, are you having technical trouble with the business card?
Yeah. So I think I could show you what happened. No, sorry. I'm just a little confused right now. Okay. So I would go. Oh wait, let me
Edit.
just show you. Yeah, edit the original.
Okay. So what am I? This is the business card.
Yeah.
Identity
So
package. Yeah. Okay.
and then I would just close it, and then it would save. But then I would save it to my computer, and
Okay. Okay. So if you change the location and the file name, uh, InDesign won't know where it is. You'll have to update it in InDesign. But if you
mhm,
just save it as the original name in the same place it was, then it'll automatically update in InDesign.
gotcha.
Is that
Okay.
is that the issue you're having?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, so go back to InDesign. I'll show you how, just for everybody's benefit. So if you go to InDesign and you go to the window, the palette of links, yours isn't showing. So go to Window, Links, and this shows you all the files that are linked to this document. Now, if anything is missing or has been updated, it'll give you a little warning in this window and show you, like either it can't find it or there's an update that hasn't refreshed in this. And you have the little tools down at the bottom of that palette that enable you to change things. And, you know, that's relink and edit original and all that.
All right.
So this is kind of helpful. It gives you an idea where everything is.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take back control.
Copy.
All right, are you seeing my screen now?
Yes. I had a quick question if I could ask before you continue.
Yeah.
With the vertical card, I know we had the burn marks and the horizontal. Do you want me to add the burn to the vertical too, just to keep consistency?
You don't have to. I mean, they could be two
Okay.
different options. So I
Okay.
think you
All
got it
right.
covered.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, so let's go back here and take a look at what's new. All right, so Olivia, I got your notes, so I know you're having a little trouble catching up. I like the concept of what you're doing here with this. Just from an execution standpoint, I think that this could be a little more horizontal configuration, like more of an oval, and maybe the ring could come down a little bit over it.
Scan
Which I
has
think,
completed. Warning, issues have been detected that need your immediate attention. Click on Start Repair to fix.
don't click on it, Raymond. All right. All right, so I think that would help you. And then the word Olympic could be bigger and coffee could be smaller, give you a little more hierarchy in your type. But I do like your concept, so I hope you're able to make some progress this week. All right, Erica, you are doing Tupimate tea. It's sort of a South American tea. And looking at this, I see what you're doing. It's kind of cool, little chunky thing there. The type could be a little bigger. The way your logo is configured, the type is quite small. So I would, again, make your brand name bigger. T could be smaller. But even if you see here, you can't read the type at all. The color palette is a bit limited, but it seems to be working. You could probably throw in some wildcard color as well, because it's a bit monochromatic. But overall, the designs are working and the color palette is working consistently. Yeah, you get this red in here. That's kind of nice. So yeah, that's good. All right. All right, Lakin, so you're doing Sol Beso. All right, so you're using this color very consistently. It's a little dark for letterhead. It's kind of a pretty rich color. You have issues with value differences between your type and the background. This almost looks like almost the same hue, but only slightly darker, so it's not legible. If you made this in the turquoise color, it would pop a lot more, or you could make it much darker, closer to black, and that would make it stand out so you could read it. This type would always be in black here on whoever you're addressing it to, because it's like laser printed. And then this could use a little more sort of care on the typography. It could be a little smaller. And I would consider, are there other design elements you could add to this to give it enhance the branding? Right now, the color is carrying all the weight, which is fine, but it could be enhanced a little more. But just look at the value differences. This turquoise color against the yellow, yeah, it's probably too light as well. So consider darkening them up. If you look at your color palette, you want to have variations in not only hue, but also brightness and saturation. All right, Joseph, you're doing Pacific Coast Orchards. So you've got this sort of very bright, almost primary color palette. Which, yeah, it's a little heavy duty, especially kind of doesn't really fit the brand to me, but It should be more earthy, I would think. This type is totally illegible, way too small compared to the icon. Look at the Full Sail logo, the proportions of the type to icon and that. And then additional elements that could actually enhance your branding, because right now it's just colors and your logo. And make sure you understand how you can export a JPEG or PDF from InDesign. Don't do screenshots, especially with the grid turned on, because it doesn't make a good presentation. Next up, Naisha, you're doing Ionis Treats. So you've been assigned this sort of caramel color, I think. The turquoise is a counterbalance to that. Again, you have the same issue. Everything is a kind of light value, so more contrast. And I would maybe add a lighter tint of this color to use in paper, like for a letterhead and an envelope, and maybe the business cards could be the darker color. Your logo, so you have your logo, and that's your logo type, and then on the letterhead, there's no logo type. On the business card, there's no logo type. That you need to have a lockup of your logo. The black logo type doesn't work so well. Maybe it could be the darker version of this brown color. So consider that. Brian, you've got Sol Beso as well, right? Didn't somebody else have that already? Huh, all right. Your illustration is kind of funky, cool. I like it. I like the style of it. I would say you need more color variation. Right now, you've got one color with a tint of the color. You need to have 5 colors in your color palette. So I think that you could benefit from adding more colors to this logo. And don't use the default gray background here. This should be a color of your choosing. The stars as a secondary element don't really work. These were just stock stars out of, shape building tools from Illustrator. I would consider this wonderful line work in the sun. Maybe you could create a border out of that or something else sort of related to your logo. Right now, these stars have nothing to do with your logo or a style. I think these are pictures of chocolate. They also seem a little out of place. An additional box to put the type in seems unnecessary, just an added element that's not helping you. So consider all those issues. All right, that's it for this section. And Elena, nice work. All right, so here we got Adela, Osiris Coffee. Your logo it looks like it's struggling to be an illustration. You want to think more iconic about this and make it really simple and easy to read. The black outlines and everything are something I would question, like, do you need them, or would they be a color instead of black? And you got some more work to do. So you haven't really finished their logo yet. All right, Sabrina, Shanghai cookies. So you've got this icon that it looks just like a fortune cookie with type right over the top of it. This isn't really functional as a logo. So look at the instructions on the assignment. Review how the logo should be set up, and then you need to add your color palette and get working on your identity package, which is due by Sunday. Caitlin, mint soap. All right, so this is looking branded and cohesive, and the colors are good. I'm not really a fan of this brown bar with the barcode there. That wouldn't really work. You could put in maybe a little bit of one of the tiles from this pattern in the corner or something. You could use your icon as a sort of sticker down here, perhaps. And maybe not use it in the stamp because it's just different than the rest of it. But it's looking pretty good. All right, Jacqueline. So you are doing Brainiac Coffee. There's your logo. Your type looks really squished. I would maybe put Brainiac on its own line and coffee underneath. You've got, yeah, all right, so this color palette might work. You might need a lighter tint of this coffee and cream color, but love to see what you do with the identity package with this. All right, Timothy, you're doing Wedgwood cookies. It's not Wedgman, it's Wedgwood. Wedgwood is a type of china that has a certain blue color, so make sure you know what that looks like. Your logo is pretty good. All these black strokes on everything I don't think are necessary. And if you do use strokes, like maybe up here, you might add a color to them. Don't use the default gray background here. You've got the secondary element, which is just stripes. Perhaps you can come up with something a little more closer to your logo, related to your logo and logo look that would relate to that. So make sure you got the name right, and maybe more colors to your color palette, because right now you're just monochromatic blue and light blue. Think about how you could enhance the branding with additional elements as well. All right, oyster soap. So you're working on the logo still. The shell kind of makes sense. This is what we would call a combo mark because your type is integrated with the icon. If that's the case, your type is going to have to be much bigger. Let's zoom out. Because when this gets small on a business card, you'll see it doesn't really work. It's going to be too small. You got a lot of work to do. Still got to do your color palette and identity package before Sunday. Ashley, Dark Wave Soap, which is sort of a gothy soap. This doesn't really feel like that at all. This yellow color is really powerful, and I think you're kind of overusing it here. Your color palette looks like it essentially has two colors. You've also got a red. I can't read the type at all. So, just zoom in close. Yeah, so look at the assignment again, see how the logo is configured in the assignment, an example. And then I would add a little more variety to your color palette so that you have some lighter color options for a letterhead and secondary branding elements. This border it doesn't seem to relate to your logo. It's just a random element. So consider what other things you might add. Maybe you can create a pattern out of one of the leaves here, a texture, something like that. All right, hope that's helpful. Lastly, we go to this section. All right, we already did Robert. Renee, Kuko's Chips, let's take a look. So this is like a sunrise with an ocean. There are sun rays. It looks like you're having trouble using Illustrator. I don't know if these additional pieces are intentional. You're using what we call a footmark here instead of an apostrophe. Your type feels very squished. You've done this properly. All right, so I think I'm looking at the final logo color. All right, so instead of a whole sort of scene here, I would just do your logo, make it right and look good. Color palette, these are all very bright. I'm concerned because their values are all light. And I guess these are pulled from your logo. The alternating red and black sun rays really don't work well. I feel like you need to review some Illustrator skills so you can get to where you want to go. Okay, so this is following all the rules properly. But just from a design standpoint, you need to have a little more hierarchy and simplify. Your font choices kind of are all over the map. So you've got this marker, and then you've got this calligraphy look. Your logo type is really unstylized, kind of doesn't really express the brand very well. And maybe gather this stuff together, make it smaller, and put it at the bottom. And I would use a simpler font for this, not a calligraphy font. And this marker font feels very sort of, I don't know, I would use a different font than that. It's used a lot. All right, so the structure here is okay in terms of you've got an illustrative top banner, that's good. You probably have a bigger margin on the page, that would help you. But really the big thing that's falling down is your logo looks unfinished. I mean, it needs some real work. When you do this, you want to turn off the layers that have the instructions where to put things, and then give a paper color and consider how your logo could set up. I guess you could do it with just the icon here. This hexagon shape comes out of nowhere, so I'm not sure why you're using that there. Color palette wise, you're kind of okay, but structurally, some of the layouts need a little more hierarchy, sort of gather some things together. And your logo icon just really needs to get more craftsmanship and simplified a little bit. I hope that's helpful. All right, Raymond, we did that. And Sonia. All right, so Barbarella's Twisted Snacks. There's your logo. Okay, so this is super complex. I might make Barbarella's bigger and Twisted Snacks smaller. Right now, this looks like a PowerPoint slide. It doesn't really look like a logo. So look at the instructions on how the lockup is done, icon to logo type size. I'm concerned that this is like a little too much of an illustration and not enough of an icon. This color palette, you've got some real dark colors and one real light one. I think you probably need more variety in the values here, but I guess you're using that chocolate. All right, so I do kind of like what you're doing with the chocolate on the purple, but your logo icon is struggling, and that's why you don't have logo type here. You have it here, but it's tiny, can't read it. And the rest of the type I would make in a simpler font, not the logo type font, so that it looks more like informational. This stripping thing is kind of interesting, but the glowing edge, like that light stroke around it, seems weird. Yeah, so main issue is your logo needs to be properly designed so that it works well. And you're adding this chocolate element, which is good, but then consider the colors of everything else. Maybe it's a cream color, or right now it seems sort of like a grayish, cool gray. But I would think of something else to use as a background color everywhere. And there's Rob's. Okay, so that's everybody. I hope everyone got sufficient feedback. Reach out if you have issues. I can't wait to see what you guys do for Sunday.